हेलो 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 सभी को मेरा मेरा तरफ से सबको मेरी तरफ से एक हार्दिक वेलकम। हार्दिक वेलकम। हिंदी इंग्लिश का मिक्सचर होता है। फुट मैप खोल लेता हूँ। Ivory Coast and Norway. It's a match. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Only 2 minutes to go. It's Ivory Coast versus Norway. Erling Haaland, the player to look out mainly. Watch out for this match. Let's see the lineups. So Norway is here with a very good 4-2-3-1 formation. Nyland the goalkeeper, Pedersen, Ajer, again Wolfe, Budge, Berg, Charlotte, Odegaard, Nusa, Haaland. So Odegaard is basically from Arsenal. Haaland is from Manchester City. Here we can see Fofana in the goal. Um, Kosunu, Conan, Doe, Kese, Sangare, Olai, Diamande, Boni, Pepe. See the bench. There are lots of players in the bench. They can come into the match. Let's see some insights. Ivory Coast reached the World Cup knockout stages for the first time in the history. Okay, so Ivory Coast is right now for the first time in the history they in the knockouts. So it's like clear favorites like Norway, very easily. Clear favorites Norway. I just opened the match here. Yes, we have opened the match. And those who want to see the match for free, I just request you all to join the Telegram channel. I will just give you the Telegram channel link here. Match has started, दोस्तों. Match has started. So we have started the match here, and if you want to join the match for watch the match for free, you can join the Telegram channel, whose link will be given very soon. Wait, I am posting the link in the chat. Wait. Match has started a bit slow, slot. Yeah, do not see Haaland for touches. Haaland will not touch the ball. He will get very few touches, but whenever he will get the touch, he will score. That's it. Okay, wait. I have shared the link. I am sharing the link. I'm sharing the link. So Ivory Coast is just making their low block thing. They're not pressing the defense of Norway. So I am posting the link, the channel, Telegram channel. Vertical cross. It's the block. Blocked, blocked, blocked. Very good try from Odegaard. The cross was good. Ivory Coast, 99% chance is there to. It's the last match of them in the World Cup. I'll just open my. I have given the link. Pepe. This match is going to be like it's a match between Ivory Coast defense and Norway attack. How long Ivory Coast can hold on to Norway, and then maybe they will seek a few opportunities to score on counter. Obviously, so let's see what happens. Wanna see some commentary, dosto? Hear it.
This is Hegem. Squares it to Aya, just shy of.
Please don't give many copyright strike. Hear it. It's a live commentary from
The halfway line.
football. Okay, so I have to just wait. What happened? Football.
Coast just shy of the halfway line over on that far side. They'll be wanting to have a touch of the ball at their feet for a wee while, but they've won themselves another throw-in. There's a pressing there from Erdegaard. Conan quickly with the throw. This is Agbadu.
I just play the commentary.
Plays for Besiktas, formerly of Wolverhampton Wanderers. Now then, brought down by Pepe, a veteran of this side, the Villarreal mid. Down the line here for the run from Frank Kessie, the captain. He's won a throw-in for the Ivory Coast, just level. Nice. Too high for Yan Diamande. He leapt there and it just grazed the top of his head from that cross from Goela Doué. Of course, Hegem. Real pressure being applied here by the Ivory Coast, having not really seen much of the ball for the first 5 minutes. And suddenly it's them asking the questions now, with Pepe and Bonny and Kessie linking up very nicely down this near side. Gianni Infantino in the house, as he generally is, and I can see Alf Inge Haaland, of course, the father of Erling Haaland. He sat at the back of him. Now, corner for the Ivory Coast on this near side. Nicolas Pepe will be the man to take it. It'll be an in-swinging corner. Ball comes in towards the back post. It flies over the top of Kessie, and it will go out on the far side for a goal kick for Norway. Which Erling Haaland, all in yellow, the Sevilla keeper, will take. Plonks the ball down on the 6-yard line. 9 minutes gone. Little short ball to Aya.
Hello.
So you're listening to an independent studio-based off-tube commentary of this round of 32 game between the Ivory Coast and Norway. I'm Joe Mills. Thank you for your company. We are in Dallas Stadium, Arlington, Texas, under the roof on this Tuesday afternoon. This is Hegem. Now Molavulfa being pressed a little bit this time by Pepe, so he rolls it all the way back to the keeper. Nyland controls it with his foot, then lashes it long downfield out to that far side. Surloth wins the header. He is 6'5", the athletic striker, but it comes back towards the edge of the area. Now Doué tussling away there with Nusa. He wins that battle. This is Kosanu. Now Sangare. Good pressing here from Norway. In fact, they've won the ball back inside the Ivory Coast half and then promptly lost it again. The Ivory Coast. Kessie, and he plays a good ball down the right channel, looking for Bonny, but it's tidied up by Sander Berger and quickly released back downfield by Nyland. Sangari has it long on header. Now Doué tussling inside the centre circle, gathered in by his back four. Agbadou. No, but the Ivory Coast have now lost it inside their own half. This is Nusa now. Feeds the ball through. They've got it on the edge of the area. Oh, they just tried to nudge it to the left to Haaland, but it was intercepted, thankfully, for the Ivory Coast by Kosanu. But that was careless by the men in orange. They've given the ball away once more, but the referee is blown up for something here. Mr. Valenzuela of Venezuela. Love it. Yeah, it was a shove by Molavulfa on Nicolas Pepe. So it will be a free kick to the Ivory Coast, tight to the touchline on this near side. Doué takes it quickly, rolls it back to Kosanu. Now Agbadou. This is Conan. I'm reliably informed he's not a barbarian. Now, this is Christ Inu Ulai of Trabzonspor. Now Sangare. And the Ivory Coast starting to enjoy real possession here, having withstood that early starvation of the ball from the Norwegians. It's now beginning to level up this game, and it's settling down. Not much between these two sides at all. It's one of those that you just can't call. But of course, when you've got Erling Haaland in your side, maybe that just tips the scales in favour of the Norwegians. But we shall see. Ball nudged down that left channel there by Inu Ulai, but it's gone out for a goal kick for Norway. As I said, it's been a long time since they've been at the World Cup, but they have a generational side here, and a very strong side that many feel could go deep into this tournament. It's been a long time since they've had a national side with this much talent. Now here's Noosa down this near side. He's hustled off it though, and the Ivory Coast gather it again inside their own half. Ball fed up to the halfway line, then nicely floated over to the left, but that's intercepted by Pedersen. Now Alex Sorloth over on that far side, getting away from Inu Ulai, but the little Trabzonspor midfielder did a brilliant sliding tackle to pinch the ball back off him. And he has it again over on that far side. 1-2 with Cassier. He is on the ball now. 13 minutes gone. Kosunu. Now Doué down this near side, floats a nice arcing ball in towards the edge of the area, but Bonny can't control it, and it goes through to Nyland, who releases it quickly, and Norway are already up to the halfway line. Sander Berger. Now back to Marcus Pedersen, who will roll it back to Nyland, edge of his area. Now this is Moller-Wulfer on this near side. Slows it right down. Hegem. Across to Christoph Ayer, and again the Ivory Coast just not taking the bait for the press at the moment. Moller-Wulfer now down this near side, tried to feed the ball through there to Patrick Berg, but it was intercepted. The Ivory Coast took a little flick off Berg as well, so it's a throw-in taken quickly by Doué all the way back to Kosunu. Now Agbadou still have the ball inside their own penalty area, Ivory Coast, and PSG brought down there by Pedersen over on that far side. Referee didn't blow for anything. Has that gone out for a corner? And Diomande didn't look too impressed. Well, there was a big shove there by Pedersen, and then Diomande had hold of the shirt. It was a bit of 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. But it is a corner. Second one for the Ivory Coast, this time over on the far left-hand side. Yan Diomande will be the man to take it. 15 minutes gone. Ball whipped in and headed away with authority there by Alex Sorloth, chested down by Kosunu. Now then, here's Doué, whips another good ball into the area. You know, they almost got it at the back post there, but it was a heavy touch from Diomande, and it goes out for a goal kick. But they're being very proactive here, the Ivory Coast. Lots of crosses going into the box. Maybe England should take note of that. Now then, here's Noosa. Patrick Berg back to Moller-Wulfer. Now is Torbjorn Hegem. Sander Berger. Classy defensive midfielder from Fulham. Now Sorloth over on that far right-hand side. Back it comes to Pedersen. And again, Norway just happy to keep hold of the ball and slow the game down again. It's just going in fits and starts, this game. You get little periods of end-to-end pressure, and then it slows down again with either one of the teams just keeping the ball and knocking it around gently for a bit. Here comes Ayer into the Côte d'Ivoire half. Sorloth over on that far side, too easily dispossessed there by Diomande. This is Ibrahim Sangare. He's being hassled all the way there by Sorloth. Comes back to Agbadou. And now back to Fofana, the keeper. His clearance downfield, neatly brought down by Pepe. Back it comes to Doué, and now Kusanu. Rolls it back to Yahia Fofana. He squares it across to Agbadou, and now Ghislaine Konan. Ball played down that left-hand side, looking for Diamande. Does well to keep it in play. Now he can turn. He floats a good ball out to this near side. Now space for Pepe here. Molavulfa up against it, but he gets into the area. Oh, well, gave it to Doué, who then took it outside of the area. Nice 1-2 though. They're inside the penalty area. Has that run out of play? I think it did. Yeah, that was looking dangerous there from the Ivory Coast, but just a poor choice made. Pepe nudged the ball into the penalty area, and then Doué decided to take it back out, and that sort of killed the move, really. Pepe doing a 1-2 there with Sangare, but the ball from Sangare just too strong, and it just ran out of play. 18 minutes gone, 0-0. Both teams are looking good. This is going to be a fascinating contest. Two good footballing teams with some talented players. Now this is Pedersen. Now Aya. Rolls it back to Nyland. Now this is Hegem, just outside of his penalty area. David Molavulfa back to Hegem. And again, Norway just happy to keep the ball here at the back. This is Berger, back to Nyland. First time pass to Christopher Aya. Great atmosphere inside this stadium, as you might imagine. The West African fans, so they're absolutely brilliant. There's just a sea of colour, of orange, and the drums going, and the dancing and the singing. And then you've got the big block of red for the Norway fans with the Viking helmets and the thunderclaps and the rowing. Excellent stuff. Only at this tournament will you get this. Ball played infield. It misses out Nusa, but it's picked up by Surloth. Edge of the box, feeds it down this left-hand side. Berger tries to get a cross in inside the area, but it's blocked by Doué, and it will go out on this near side. Or will it? Just trying to see what actually happened there. Surloth fed it down that near side in the attempted cross. Now it was one of those, yeah, it was throw into the Ivory Coast, which they throw it downfield, but Berger wins the header. But it's soon back at the feet of the Ivory Coast. Now, can they break down the middle here with Ino Ulai? Now it comes out to Diamande over on that far side. Almost 20 minutes gone here. Entertaining game. It's been a game of few chances, but it's been very good to watch. 0-0. Now here's the ball. Oh, now cuts in field inside the area, shot, and it's in a near post. And that was Ghislaine Konan. They just fed it down that left-hand channel there, and he cut in field, left Pedersen for dead, and then tried a shot from about 10 yards out. It was a fairly tight angle, but it thunders into the side netting. Nyland had it covered. And that's the first real effort in anger that the Ivory Coast have had. Other than that, and the Haaland header, as I say, it's been a game of very few chances, but despite that, it's been far from dull. It's been good to watch. Two sides knocking it around very nicely, very technically competent, both teams. And like I said, really not much between them at all, so it's going to be a tight game. This is Erdegaard. Hegem has it on halfway. 21 minutes gone. Hydration break imminent. This is Nusa on this near side. Feeds it back in field to Patrick Berg. Back to Nusa. Berg once again. Knocks it back to Hegem. Now Christopher Aya has the ball inside the centre circle. Now Patrick Berg once again on this near side. And again, Norway just... yeah, this is the moments where it does get a bit dull, where they're just knocking it across their back four for no apparent reason. Ivory Coast just not getting involved. It does kind of get a bit tedious after a while, but I'm sure there's method to it. This is Hegem now, inside the Ivory Coast half. Ball down this near side for Noosa. Tried to take it round Doué, but it's blocked off his shins and out for a Norway throw on this near side. Just over 22 minutes gone. And it is going to be a corner for the Norwegians. I think it's their first one of the game. Patrick Berg of Bodo Glimt comes across to take this on this near side. First real chance from the set piece here for the Norwegians. Ball whipped in by Berg, headed away with authority by Kusanu. And then there's a bit of a miscommunication there between Noosa and Surloth, which has ended up with Diamande being absolutely clattered there as he tried to get in between the two of them. Well, actually, it was Noosa and Moller Wulfer. And Moller Wulfer just cleared it, and then in the process of that turned his back, and Diamande just ran into him. Nothing malicious in it. He's back up on his feet now. 23 minutes gone. I'm just wondering... wonder no more. I was just about to say, are we in fact going to have a hydration break? Yes, we are. Referee blows his whistle, and it is time for the players to take on some fluids. It's not been a popular thing, this. And people will argue, well, it's not hot, we're under a roof, we're in an air-conditioned stadium. You can understand it if you were playing with the roof off and it was baking hot, but well, ours is not to reason why and all that. So, goalless here at the Dallas Stadium between the Ivory Coast and Norway. It's been a good game, but as I said, a game of very few chances. One falling to Erling Haaland, a header. Didn't really get a lot of power on it. And then a shot from Conan into the side netting. The game after this, later this evening, will be France against Sweden. An all-European affair. That should be an absolute cracker. France very heavily tipped to win the whole thing. But Sweden are no mugs, are they? And you've got the likes of Isak and Gyökeres leading their line. Take them lightly at your peril. We've already seen a couple of shocks. That would be a shock, though, whichever way you slice it. But Sweden, more than capable. But here, it is deadlocked. There is not much between these two sides on paper and in the rankings. And it's played out so far on the field. Both teams enjoying little spells of possession, and then it transitions to the other team. But it's who's going to make that first big mistake, or who's going to produce that bit of absolute world-class magic. There are players out there more than capable of doing that. So the hydration break is coming to an end. The players are now fanning back out onto the pitch. And we played, well, it's 26 minutes, but we haven't played 26 minutes, but that wasn't a long break, about 3 minutes. So we're about to get back underway. Ivory Coast have the ball on the floor, just inside their own half. So, first half, part 2. Don't forget that this is an independent studio-based off-tube commentary of this group of 32 game between the Ivory Coast and Norway. And you can follow the match on your local, regional or national TV broadcaster. Ivory Coast 0, Norway 0. Long ball downfield, looking for the run of Diamande, but Aya wins the header, comes out to that far side. Norway win the ball back now, but well, I say that, it's actually gone out of play. Pedersen was romping away with the ball there and had to be called back. Well, I'm not sure the whole ball was over the line there when Sander Berger stabbed it back in field. Anyway, here's Kusanu. He's forced to give it back to Fofana, the keeper, as Haaland was bearing down on him. Fofana then launched the ball downfield up to the halfway line, headed back by Norway, but it's back to the orange shirts. Now they'll be looking to break downfield here. Now then, here's Diamande down that far side, very tight to the touchline. Edge of the penalty area, chips the ball in towards the back post. Oh, and that was a chance. And rather than the shot, it was fed back across the face of the 6-yard box by Pepe and cleared out near the line by Aya. Big puff of the cheeks from the Brentford man there. But that was a super floated ball and nobody had picked up Pepe at the back post. But he opted to square the ball back across the face of goal rather than go for the shot. And that meant that Aya could clear it away. That was a dangerous moment. And it will be Pepe with the corner here for the Ivory Coast on this near side. Whips it in left-footed. Headed away by the towering Surloff, but it will come back to Pepe on this near side. Whips it in left-footed towards the back post. They've got a man there, but he can't control it. And again, it was Frank Kessier this time. Ball played out very quickly by Norway, which almost caught the Ivory Coast on the hop. This is Surloff, feeds it back to the edge of the area. This is Christopher Aya. And now Hegem. He has space to run into here. Brings it up to the halfway line. This is Mollewulfer. Feeds it down this near sideline to Antonio Nusa. He tries to cut infield, but he's dispossessed on the edge of the box. But they win it back quickly. Now then, here's Erdegaard. Edge of the penalty area. He loses it. And then there's a real tussle for the ball, and the Ivory Coast come away with it. And they nudge it downfield. Now they can hit on the counter. This is Nicolas Pepe roaring down this near side. Twisting, turning, gets to the edge of the box. Ball with the outside of his foot towards the back post, and Pedersen takes no chances and heads it out for another corner. That was a lovely bit of skill from the Villarreal man there. Lovely ball with the outside of his left foot, arcing across the Norway penalty area. They are getting joy down the sides, and it will be a corner now for Jan Diomande. Half an hour gone, still 0-0. So Diamande whips the ball into the area. Well, it's headed out again for another corner. Erdegaard went down in the area. He claims that he was tugged over, but the referee not interested. It was the head of Aya which put that out for the corner. So another attempt here for the Ivory Coast. Jan Diomande once again. Ball whipped in, headed away with authority by Haaland, but it will come back out to Diamande on that far side. Plays it into the area, gets a 1-2, but is dispossessed by Nusa. But Nusa's touch goes straight to an orange shirt, and then an even heavier touch by Pepe over on that far side, and it goes out for a goal kick. 31 on the clock. Tight game here, as have the last two been. Of course, they all went all the way to penalties. Paraguay against Germany and Morocco against the Netherlands. Don't remember, of course, Morocco got to the semi-finals in the last edition of the World Cup. They shocked the world, or did they? They have an incredibly strong side themselves these days, and you have to think it's only a matter of time, really, that one day an African nation will win this tournament, but as of yet it's not happened, but it is edging closer. Header by Sørloth, he gets the header back from Haaland over on that far side. Now Sander Berge, that's nice, quick one-touch football there from Norway inside the Ivory Coast half. Molle Wolfer, it comes back to Torbjørn Heggem. Now Sander Berge, this is Heggem once again. Molle Wolfer on this near side, tussling with Pepe, gets the ball back to Heggem. That was good pressing there from the Ivory Coast, and now they sit on the halfway line, not literally. Heggem doesn't really know what to do with it. Comes out to Noosa on this near side with the bleached blonde hair. He cuts in field, floats a great crossfield ball to Sørloth, but that's careless from him. Loses possession. Now Diomande picks it up, stretches those long legs down the far side, feeds it into the area. Bonny has it, and it's blocked, and it will go out for another corner off Heggem this time. And just at the moment, the Ivory Coast on top in this game. This will be the 5th corner of the game, and they are starting to ask a few questions now of Norway, and all that came from a poor bit of play from Sørloth. Not the most gifted technically, and it will be a corner once again on that far side, and it will be Jan Diomande once more. But the Norwegians, a very tall side, getting these cover. He's gone along the floor this time, and that's clever. They get the ball back, they have it on the edge of the area. Now then, it's now on this near side, they're forced out of the penalty area, and Inoue Ulai almost takes the ball out of play. Kusanu. Now then, Kessié trying to get in round the back. He's won another corner, this time off the foot of Patrick Berg. Corner taken short and quick. Ulai back to Kessié. He whips the ball into the area, headed away by Haaland again, and then a volley is, well, it's a bit of a powder puff job that. It floated high up in the air, straight into the arms of Nyland. 34 minutes gone. Ståle Stalbakken looking stony-faced in his red t-shirt and glinting bald head. Here's Heggem, just nudging the possession stats at the moment. The Ivory Coast 49% to Norway's 46. 5 with no side controlling. Nyland's clearance downfield is a poor one, goes out of play, just shy of the halfway line, and Konan will take the throw-in. Goes back to Agbadou. Now the diminutive Inoue Ulai. Kessié out to this near side. Now then, here's Doué. Try to float it in round the back, but has he won another corner near the corner flag? No, it's I think it might be a throw-in this time, but it will be for Norway. The Norwegian fans trying to get their team motoring here. The hand clap starting. In fact, it's a goal kick for Norway. Nyland takes it, lashes it downfield. Sørloth leaps high, glances the header infield, but only as far as Sangare. His header is returned back by Sander Berge. And he gets the ball back from an Ivory Coast header, then promptly gives the ball away. Not keeping the ball as well, Norway, inside the Ivory Coast half. But as I've said that, they've won the ball back there with Noosa. Back to Heggem. Now here's Ajer. 36 minutes gone. Still 0-0. You're listening to an independent studio-based off-tube commentary of this round of 32 game between the Ivory Coast and Norway. As Norway come forward now, this is Sørloth over on that far side, tight to the touchline, up against Konan. Gets round the back of him, gets the cross in from the byline, headed by Haaland, but there's no power on it. And it was into the ground and sits up nicely for Fofana. Second header of the game for the big blonde City striker. But again, he was sort of reaching backwards there. Couldn't get any power on it, despite his size and his strength. And there's a foul now inside the Ivory Coast half on Diomande. Don't like to see him gesturing with a card. Let the referee do his job. It will be a free kick to the Ivory Coast, halfway inside their own half. Coming up to 37 minutes gone. It's been a game of few chances. Two-headed efforts from Haaland, neither of which were ever going to trouble the goalkeeper. Ivory Coast have looked dangerous, but have not really tested Nyland yet at all. They've come close. Long ball downfield by Pepe. Bonny now tussling on the edge of the area. He manages, well, he tried to shield it, he almost did, but Norway are back in numbers to wrestle the ball away from him. This is Patrick Berg down the line, flick round the corner by Noosa. Now then, Berg comes roaring down this near side. They double up on him, but he gets the ball away to Noosa. Now he comes downfield, edge of the area, squares it across here. This is Ødegaard, left-footed strike, which is blocked on the edge of the area. The rebound is gathered by Berger. Well, this is Pedersen. Now Sørloth. How can Norway respond here? Pedersen once again. They're inside the Ivory Coast half. This is Sander Berger. Now Martin Ødegaard with the blue captain's armband on, just slows things down, drags the ball back towards the halfway line. Ayer back to Ødegaard. Now he plays a ball downfield, and it's a good one, picked up by Berger. Now then, Moller-Wulfer. This is Noosa, edge of the penalty area on the side. Squares it back in field to Patrick Berg. Oh, it's Norway keeping the ball well. Noosa, he gets it back again in space this time on this near side. Works it in. Oh, what a strike! What a strike! Right-footed from the side of the penalty area, and it curls into the top right-hand corner. What a glorious strike from Antonio Noosa. They worked the ball back to him. This time he had the space. He cut in on his right foot. About a yard into the area, he decided to take the shot, and it curled right into the top bin on that far right-hand side. Pass for Fana. Beautiful goal from the Leipzig striker. Cuts it inside. And Pepe just stood off him for too long, and he picked his spot. Fabulous finish from Antonio Noosa. Norway have the lead here in Dallas. Ivory Coast 0, Norway 1. And that will be right up there of one of the goals of the tournament so far. Beautiful finish from Noosa. And it sends the Norwegian fans into raptures. And as I said, this Norway side, many feel that they can go a long way in this tournament. They've not been here for a long time. They've been in the doldrums for years. They've just not had a strong squad at all. And then obviously with the likes of Haaland and Ødegaard coming along. And it's made a real difference. I say, when you look across the squad, all the players in this starting 11 are playing for all the top teams in Europe. Serie A and the Premier League, La Liga, the Bundesliga. There's only Patrick Berg in this starting 11 that plays in his own country, but Bodo Glimt are one hell of a side as they shocked the world in the Champions League last season. Now then, they come down this far side again. This is Pedersen trying to get away here. Gets it to the edge of the area. It's whipped in left-footed. Glancing header. Haaland! Oh, he's missed it. It fell for him on the edge of the 6-yard box. I think it might have taken a deflection because that seemed all too easy. Ball was whipped in. Sørloth peeled to the back post. Great header. It fell for Haaland. Yes, it did. Little volley from 4 yards out. And Ibrahim Sangare got across, stuck out a leg, and stopped it from going in. Well, we waited over half an hour for a goal and we almost got two there in 3 minutes. Such is the way. Patrick Berg now with the corner for Norway. They've got the bit between their teeth here now, and it comes, oh, floated to the back post, and it missed Sørloth's head. And then I think Haaland came roaring in at the back post and he couldn't get a toe on the end of it. Brilliant corner. Yeah, well, actually it was a glancing header from Sørloth. Haaland couldn't get to it. Hegem was over the dead ball line when it did hit his head. But all of a sudden, Norway have come roaring to life here. Goal kick Ivory Coast. Yahia Fafana of Rijzerspor with the goal kick. Headed back deep into the Ivory Coast half. This is Kona. Ball in field to Kessié. Now Agbadou. Long raking ball downfield, but it's only going to sail all the way through to the feet of Erling Haaland. He just brings the ball to ground and then just casually rolls it out to Christopher Ayer. Now Ødegaard dropping deep to pick up the ball. Now the rangy figure of Sander Berger. Moller Wolfer. Now here's the goal scorer, Nusa, on this near side. But that's a loose ball from him, and it's gone straight to Bonny. He cuts in field, but they got across in numbers there and just crowded him out. But they pick up the second ball here, the Ivory Coast. Now they have it over on that far side. Can they work it in here? Conan, he's going to get a corner there. And they come roaring back here, the Ivory Coast. Just a bit of loose play there from Nusa, which set all that in motion. And they were very quickly inside that penalty area. And it will be Diamande once again. 6th or 7th corner of the first half for the Ivory Coast, who have been good in this first half, but they trail. Whipped in by Diamande, punch clear by Nyland. Comes back to Conan. Back out to that far side now to Diamande. Plays a great ball into the box here. Now they have it on this near side. Oh, that was a real waste from Kessié. He says that got a deflection and should be a corner. And it is going to be a corner on this near side. And it'll be Pepe who will take it. Inside the final minute of normal time. Ivory Coast trailing here by 1-0. A stunner from Antonio Nusa on 40 minutes. Now then, Pepe whips the ball in once again. Towering header by Haaland. It goes sideways across the edge of the area. Bonny's gone down in the air. He's back up on his feet now, claiming he was fouled. And then Nusa is actually fouled over on that far side. The ball goes out of play. Will this be a free kick to the Norwegians over on the far side? Referee just fielding complaints. Well, they're claiming there was a tug on the shirt there of the, I think it was Inoa Ulai, but it looked a bit theatrical. It's just gone out for a Norwegian throw, which Pedersen will take. I think they might have had a little chat upstairs there, but there's no case to answer. Sørloth, cushioned header infield, but it goes straight to an orange shirt. Now then, they come downfield once again. 4 minutes of added time, by the way. And then there's a foul there by Nusa on Doué. Took his legs out right from under him, and that'll be a yellow card for the Leipzig man. Yeah, just left a trailing leg there on Doué. Clumsy challenge from the Norwegian goal scorer. This is in a good position, this free kick now for the Ivory Coast. On this near side, Pepe standing over it. It's about, let's say 25 yards out, maybe a little less. And it's level with the edge of the side of the penalty area, if you see what I mean. So the left-footed Pepe, everybody on the edge of the box. This is going to be whipped in towards the back post. In it goes. Glancing header down. Oh, it's just wide of the far post, of that left-hand post. That was a close one, and it goes out for a goal kick. Just trying to see who got the head on that one. Yeah, it was a glancing header there from Emmanuel Agbadou. But it went wide of the post by about a yard. And that's probably the best chance they've had so far. And the former Wolves man coming close to levelling things up just before half-time. 2 minutes of the added 4 already elapsed. Long clearance downfield. Surloth with the flick-on header, but he can't find Haaland. And it goes out of play for a Norwegian throw anyway, near the halfway line, taken quickly. It was Pedersen. Back to Christopher Ayer. And he will roll it back to Nyland. First time pass to Hegem, edge of the penalty area. Now he's got a lot of space to bring it forward, which he does. This is Moller-Wulfer on this near side, cuts in field on his left foot. Little short pass to Sanderberger. Pretty much sets up shop inside the centre circle, just controlling everything. This is Ayer. Now Pedersen once again, back to Ayer. Pedersen from that far side. This time he opts for the long ball down the right channel. But Surloth won't get to it before Agbadou does. He rolls it back to Fofana. He wastes no time in clearing it out to this near side. And Pepe wins the throw-in, or does he put the ball out of play? Oh right, I thought he'd come off Noosa. So throw-in here for Norway on the near side, inside the final minute now of this first half. This is Moller-Wulfer, throws it to the side of the penalty box, brought down by Berg. Noosa tries to nudge it back in field, but it's come off him after it hit Doué. Doué takes the throw-in quickly for the Ivory Coast. Norway win the header on halfway. Head tennis ensues, but it's picked up.
हेलो दोस्तों, चलो मैं आ गया। आज थोड़ा तबीयत खराब है, इसलिए थोड़ा रेस्ट कर रहा था। तो हाफ टाइम चल रहा है, आप लोग मैच देख रहे होंगे। It's 1-0 up for Norway. Obviously, Norway will win this match. Basically, Nusa has scored. I think my prediction will be right, and Norway will easily beat Ivory Coast. Now, it will be 1-0 or 2-0 or 3-0. It will depend on Ivory Coast, how much they can absorb the pressure which will be given by Norway. As time moves on, time goes on, Norway can do two things. Whether they will go for 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 victory, or maybe they will just park their bus after 2-0, maybe they will just park the bus. So then maybe we can see some attack from Ivory Coast. Ivory Coast is doing nothing in the match. I am seeing the match on TV, sleeping, like lying down. I can't see properly here because of myself not feeling well. So you enjoy the the scorecard and the commentary. To enjoy the commentary and the match. Okay.
Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page. Remember to check out FootMob's social channels on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. Thank you for listening to FootMob's audio commentary. Be sure to check out player ratings, shot maps and more in-depth info on the match page.
Well, welcome back to the Dallas Stadium. We are back underway just here. This is a round 32 clash between the Ivory Coast and Norway. I'm Joe Mills. Thank you for your company. And don't forget that you are listening to an independent studio-based off-tube commentary of this game. And you can follow this match on your local, regional or national TV broadcaster. So 1-0 to Norway after a pretty absorbing first half. Not many chances in it. Both teams played some good stuff though, closely matched, but it was a stunning goal from Antonio Nusa into the top corner just before half-time, which separates the two sides. Norway all in white, Ivory Coast all in orange, trimmed with green, and Jesus Venezuela of Venezuela is our match referee. So, throw-in over on the far side for Norway. Taken by the captain Erdegaard, flicked round the corner by Nusa, trying to find Erling Haaland. Norway finishing that first half very strongly after it was a bit of a stalemate for a while. This is Konan, now Jan Diomande, and he's fouled about 10 yards outside his own penalty area there by Pedersen. So free kick taken quickly by Sangare. Now Kusanu out to that far right-hand side to the feet of Pepe. Now Anjoan Boni, he's not really had much to feed off so far, the Inter Milan striker, and he's got himself in trouble here. Almost loses the ball inside his own half. He was forced back in there. And the ball hammered downfield, but it's chested down calmly by Ayo. He rolls it back to Nyland, who rather nonchalantly chips it back over this, down to this near side. And it goes out for a throw-in actually for Norway, although Inau Ulai felt that he was fouled there by Pedersen, and let the referee know it too. Anyway, ball back at the feet of Christopher Ayer, and he's being hassled here all the way, and he's, well, I thought the ball had gone out of play, but the Ivory Coast have won it back here. That's brilliant pressing and harrying But then the momentum goes with a loose pass, which has sent them back inside their own half. But that was really good aggressive pressing there from the Ivory Coast, who are very much still in this. Agbadou across to Kusanu of Atalanta. Now this is Guela Doué. To Kusanu. Now Sangare, just shy of the halfway line. And again, Ivory Coast just slowing things down now. This is Inoue Ulai back across the field to Kusanu. So we have these little periods where each team will just knock the ball sideways across the back four for a couple of minutes, and the opponents will just let them do it. Anyway, they get the ball down this near side. Ball whipped in well there by Conan. It fizzes across the penalty area, but it's gathered in by Pepe over on the near side. He has the ball at the byline now, trying to work it back to the edge of the area. Ball thundered in across the edge of the 6-yard box. Avoids Nyland. No one there to put it home. Conan. Now then, Diamande, little short ball into the edge of the 6-yard box. And the Ivory Coast, have they won a corner? They've had about 9 already in this game. But that was a good ball in. Nyland got a fingertip to it as it fizzed across the edge of his 6-yard box. And it is a corner for the Ivory Coast. That ball is not touching the corner quadrant line. It's actually on the dead ball line, but it's not touching the quadrant line. And if I can see it, why can't the linesman see it? It drives me mad. Just put the ball on the line. That is not touching the quadrant line, and that is effectively an illegal corner. Referee is now coming over to have a look, and he's telling Diamande to put it on the line. Why couldn't you just do that in the first place? And now he's moved it back about 30 centimetres. Utterly ridiculous. Corner comes in, headed away from the edge of the 6-yard box. You see it all the time, not just in this competition, but the world over, and it drives me insane. Just put the ball on the line. That's why the line is there. Constantly seeing corners with the ball just put outside the line, and they let them get away with it time and time again. I mean, what's the point? It's millimetres in the end. Ball whipped in from the far side into the Norway area. Bonny heads the ball down, but in the wrong direction, and that allows Norway to intercept it. Now the offside flag has gone up anyway against Doué, and it will be a free kick. That was a lovely bit of skill there from Doué. Leapt in the air and then controlled the ball mid-air with his opposite foot, just cushioned it. Just over 50 minutes gone here at the Dallas Stadium in Arlington, Texas, in this round 32 clash. Ivory Coast 0, Norway 1. Ball played down this near side for the run of Diamande. 2 white shirts come across, and it's thundered out by Aya for yet another corner for the Ivory Coast, who are turning the screw now. I think it's gone out for a throw-in, actually, very close to the corner flag, my mistake. Here's Inoue Ulai, whips the ball to the edge of the area, but it's headed away by Hegem. Now brought down by Surloth, but again, clumsy, can't control the ball, gives away a throw-in, taken quickly by Conan. Now Sangare. Yes, I think Esmauri Fight has had a word at half-time. Now, they didn't play badly, but they've come out with a fire in the belly here. Ball whipped across the area there by Conan, bit too strong, and then it's headed away, and then a rather eccentric attempt at a volley there from Sangare from 35 yards out, and that has gone high into the stand. And out for a goal kick. France against Sweden to come later. That is a real mouth-watering clash. And it's been a bad 24 hours for the European sides. Germany and Holland both going out shock exits on penalties after extra time. Obviously, Norway will be looking to redress the balance there. And then, of course, we've got an all-European clash between France and Sweden, so another European side is going to find themselves going home at the end of this day's play. Anyway, they have it on halfway. But the Ivory Coast flying the flag for Africa today. They'll be desperate to get through to the next stage. Morocco already there representing the African nation so far. Ball back now at the feet of Moller-Wulfer. Now Ødegaard, dropping deeper all the time, has it on the edge of his own area, sends it back to Nyland, and that's calm and composed, and neat one-touch football by the Norwegians. Ødegaard brings it forward now. Pedersen, but he's being hassled again there by Diamande. Back towards his own goal, but he swivels, turns, plays a long ball downfield, but it's poorly cleared. Now then, Ødegaard coming forward down the middle of the pitch here. He's got options left and right. This is Noosa, nudges it down that side of the penalty area. The chipped cross, it misses everybody and goes out to the far side of the penalty area, and Fofana, the keeper, rushes across to gather it in. Chance there for Norway on the counter, but they didn't take it. Obviously, as this game goes on, the spaces will start to open up. Here is Goella Doué on that far side. Now Nicolas Pepe. 54 minutes gone. Norway still leading by a goal to nil. Now then, here's Inoa Ulai out to this near side to Konan. Gets it back to Noah Ulai, floats the ball out to that far side, chested down neatly by Pepe, up against Moller-Wulfer, nudges it to the edge of the area, a shot come crossing, rebound, and it's a good save from Nyland at his near post off Pepe. Ball comes back out. Ivory Coast had it, but a loose touch there has allowed Noosa to pinch the ball and eventually win a throw-in over on the far side, but that's the first real shot that the Ivory Coast have had in anger. It was whipped in by Doué, not cleared by Hegem, came back out to the edge of the 6-yard box, and it was fired in by Pepe, and Nyland got across to his near post and blocked it with his knees. They certainly have been the better side in this second half, the Ivory Coast, but Norway now find themselves on the counter, trying to pick out Haaland there in the left-hand part of the box. They're claiming a handball, but the referee not interested, and the ball breaks over to that far side for Ibrahim Sangare. Roll it back to the edge of the box. Kusanu, and now Emmanuel Agbadou. This is Konan now on this near side. Diamande to Inoa Ulai. Now back to Frank Kessié. They have it on halfway. They're playing very nicely here, the Ivory Coast. It is on a knife edge, this game. Both teams do kind of look dangerous when they're going forward, and it really is a chess game at the moment. Both teams, then they slow it down, knock it around. The other team said, no, we're not going to bite. We're not going to bite. We're just going to sit. Just goes through these little periods and then it explodes into life. Konan whips the ball into the edge of the 6-yard box, flicks off the head of Bonny over to the far side of the area, put back in by Pepe, and then a turn and shot on the edge of the 6-yard box, but he couldn't get any power on it, and it dribbles all the way through to Nyland. But they are definitely asking the questions. But now Norway from that restart, roaring down this left side. Noosa, good ball round the back here. Can they get the cross in? Ball comes back to Noosa over on that far side. Nudges it back in field. Ødegaard felled on the edge of the penalty area, and that will be a free kick to Norway. Right on the apex of the box over on that far side. This is what I mean. It is going backwards and forwards, this game. And the Ivory Coast know they've come out the traps pretty quickly. They know they've got to get an equaliser. Norway happy to just sort of sit back and then hit on the counter. Well, they have a good chance here with this set piece. 22 yards out, almost to the edge of the penalty area on that left-hand side. Ødegaard standing over the ball. A little three-man wall inside the area. Everyone else on the edge of the box. Can he pick out Haaland here, who is lurking on the edge of the penalty area? So 58 minutes almost on the clock. Can Norway double their lead here? Free kick. Martin Ødegaard. Everyone surges forward. It breaks into the... Oh, and it's saved on the line. Well, I say saved on the line. There was a bit of a goal-mouth scramble. Everybody had a go at it, and then it just found itself in the hands of Fofana from very close range. I'm not quite sure what happened there. There was that many bodies. Anyway, Ivory Coast survived. Now they come out to this near side. Loads of space here for Conan. Side of the penalty area. Trying to take it round Patrick Berg, but he can't, but he puts it out for a corner. Let's have another look at this. As that free kick came in, it missed the head of Sørloth, and then it hit the arm of Sander Berger, and it just dropped at the down on the floor to the keeper gratefully. Corner taken short. Ball chipped into the area, but it's been blocked. And I think that was by Noosa, who took that in the face. He's okay now, though. A lovely little chip over the top by Unai Ule. Now Diamande on this near side. Ball near the dead ball line, but he works it back up towards the edge of the area. Squared infield now. Long range shot, but it's awful. Rosed. That's what happens when you let centre halves have a dig. Emmanuel Agbadou. High over the crossbar, but Ivory Coast having a real dig here. They have played really well. As I say, even though they're trailing, there is not much between these two sides at all. It's a very level game, which could go either way. Bonny comes off, he's been frustrated, and Manchester United's Diallo, I think he's coming on, or have I got that wrong? Well, I thought I saw him coming on. It's going to be Elie Wahi of Nice, who will replace him. I thought it was Diallo for a moment there. This is Pedersen. Now Norway have it, edge of the Ivory Coast box. Haaland there, tried to win the ball. He was a sandwich between two players, but it's cleared away. Yeah, I wasn't dreaming that. Diallo is on. It's Inoa Ulai who's come off for him. That's a relief. I thought I was going mad there for a minute. Ball thrown infield. Norway now tight to the touchline with Ødegaard. And that's a foul on Conan. Ødegaard can't quite believe it. Gets up in the face of the linesman. You can't be doing that. Just to remind you, you're listening to an independent studio-based off-tube commentary of this round of 32 game in this, the world's biggest football tournament. And don't forget, you can follow this match on your local, regional or national TV broadcaster. We are live from the Dallas Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And it is Ivory Coast 0, Norway 1. And we have played just over an hour. Can Norway get through to the round of 16? Here's Diamande. He'll have thoughts about that for the Ivory Coast. Edge of the penalty box on the side here. Tried to weave his way through, but Aya blocks him. Sørloth. Now then, Patrick Berg. Out to Moller Wulfer on that far side. Plays a good ball round the back for Berg. Tight to the touchline. Nudges it round the back of Kessié. And that's a good sliding tackle there on Ødegaard, which fells him, but it was perfectly fine. Got the ball first. And now Pepe. Ball comes infield. Ivory Coast really starting to ask questions. Now here's Amad Diallo of Manchester United. Lovely little reverse pass round the back there. He's found Kessié. It squares it into the area looking for Wahi. But Hegem was there first, but they've lost the ball again, Norway, inside their own half. This is Conan, centre field, halfway inside the Norwegian half. They're hanging on a little bit, Norway here. This is Kessié. Fair play to the Ivory Coast. Cut in field now, edge of the penalty area, forced a little bit further back up the pitch. Now Sangare, he will walk it forward, 30 yards out. Feeds a nice ball through to the edge of the area to Diamande. Gets it on his left foot, tries to fizz a pass across the edge of the 6-yard box, but it's intercepted by Hegem before it could go through to Diallo, who was waiting. Already seen a bit of sublime skill from Diallo. Little drag back and back heel. And again, I'm looking at this corner from Diamande, and he's done exactly what he did the last time. He's put the ball on the dead ball line. It is not touching the quadrant line. Again, why can't you just put the ball on the quadrant line? And again, the referee is coming over to speak to him, and again, he's telling him to move the ball back. And he does. It's just ridiculous. Why couldn't he have just done that in the first place? 6 inches. Ball whipped in, punched away to the side of the penalty area over on the far side. Whipped back in again, headed up high in the air, this time by Haaland, and then there's a bit of pinball and he gets the ball clear downfield. Norway just hanging on grimly at the moment. And then the header downfield, Haaland trying to chase it down, but Fofana way out of his goal to get to it first, and he hammers it downfield and out for a throw. If I'm going on about it, I'm sorry, but it really drives me mad. When you think it's just 6 inches, and he knows he needs to put it on the line, and yet he doesn't put it on the line. It's either arrogance or ignorance. It's one of the two. Anyway, Ivory Coast have it on halfway. 64 minutes gone. Norway still have that precious lead through the stunning goal of Antonio Nusa on 41 minutes. But the Ivory Coast have come out very positively in this second half and are asking a lot of questions. Ball chipped over the top there, and not a bad one. And Nyland, though, quickly off his line to snuff that one out. Quick release now. Erdegaard plays a good ball down the right channel. Surloth gets to it first, but then Agbadou got across in front of him and puts it out for a corner. A chance for Norway. Their fans bobbing up and down behind the goal. They're having a great time. They've waited a long time for this, Norway, and what a place to come for your first World Cup in what seems like forever. To the US of A, and Mexico and Canada, of course, but they played most of their games in the States. So corner, Erdegaard. He puts the ball on the line where it should be. Left-footed, whips it into the area. Well, what's happened here? Referee's blown his whistle. I think there's a bit of shenanigans going on inside the penalty area of pushing and shoving. There's no surprise. I actually think the referee, he blew his whistle before Erdegaard took the corner, so it's going to be a retake. Erdegaard once more, whips it in, glancing header, oh, it's cleared off the line! That should have been 2. It was Pedersen who came in at the back post and his shot was blocked on the line. Goodness me, and now it's on the edge of the Norwegian box and they put it out for a throw-in.
This game has become another dead rubber.
Well, despite all the dominance in the last 5-10 minutes, Norway almost doubled their lead there. Now the referee's talking to VAR. Christopher Ayer is in the face of the referee. He feels something went on there.
Let me check what is the match tomorrow we have.
But the corner came in. Glancing header from Surloth. Pedersen at the back post. His shot was blocked on the line. Nothing to answer. The ref says, let's get on with it. Throw taken by the Ivory Coast. This is hotting up now. 67 minutes gone. That would have been a little bit harsh on the Ivory Coast if that would have gone in, but at this level, you have to take your chances. Wahi can't control that with his back to goal. Ball breaks out on that far side for Nusa. He's foul, but the referee plays advantage. Haaland flicks it round the corner for Patrick Berg out on that far side. He will bring it forward now. They're in retreat here, the Ivory Coast. Here's Noosa, side of the penalty area. Gets a cross in. It's headed away and out of the box, but the offside flag has gone up. It will be a free kick. And now it's actually going to be a water break.
But I think...
Or a hydration break. Well, the Ivory Coast have come out very, very positively in this second half. And for me, have been just about the better team.